now because I'm the ultimate procrastinator. Once I get around to making a decision, I do it fast. Take my wedding dress. I picked the second one I tried on. I'm all about going with your instincts, but I will say picking a venue wasn't as easy because I put off dealing with it. We chose ours at the very last minute. If you want a specific venue, caterer, makeup artist, dress, or DJ, you gotta get on it. Once you've decided on an element, lock it in and book it. A year or however far away your wedding is might seem like an age, but it comes rolling around fast. Trust me. Lucky in love and family. I'm not a planner. I never have been. I'm very quick to make decisions because I just want to get in and out fast. So I always go with my first instinct and deal with the problems later. I would never make it as a wedding planner. I don't have the patience. I could never have had my big, beautiful wedding without my mom and my sister. They did everything. Now, I know a lot of folks might hear this and think, ugh. For a lot of brides, the biggest challenge they face is their families. People who have a very different vision for the wedding and aren't shy about making their wishes clear. I know just how lucky I am that I didn't have a momzilla, sisterzilla, or any other monsters looking to crush the most special event of my life. It was just the opposite. My mom and Sydney were angels, with clipboards, lists, Pinterest pages, and cake samples. Even with my mom and sister doing all the legwork and my don't overthink it attitude, there were still moments leading up to the wedding where I felt overwhelmed. It's inevitable when planning a wedding. You haven't used a mailbox in years and suddenly you're sending out 100 invitations, or you need to pick flower arrangements. Take deep breaths and try not to get too stressed out. When things get messed up or don't turn out as you thought, which is inevitable, roll with the punches. Stay focused on what really matters to you. What mattered to me was that our wedding be a true reflection of Eric and me. Traditional, without being afraid to break some rules. For instance, we spent the night before our wedding together, even though traditionally you're not supposed to. At our rehearsal dinner, Eric said he didn't want to spend the night apart from me, that he wanted to go to sleep together and wake up on our wedding day together. I felt exactly the same way. So, after we woke up and had our coffee in bed, I headed to the venue to get ready for our special day, and Eric stayed in our home with his guys to get ready. For the service, my mom gave me a rosary that she wrapped around my bouquet, and a handkerchief that belonged to my great aunts, those little Italian ladies of Independence, Louisiana, who were there that day with me in spirit. I was so anxious and nervous in the limo headed to the church to marry my prince. But as soon as I got there and Steve took me by my arm, I began to relax a little more. I'm so grateful that he entered our lives, because through him and my mom, I really learned what it means to have a great marriage. I don't think I've ever even seen them have a fight. They're still, to this day, madly in love with each other. He walks through the door from work, and my mom jumps on him. They're so happy. Eric is so much like Steve. They're kind and non-judgmental Midwestern men. But I wouldn't have had that example. I wouldn't have known better if Steve hadn't come into our lives. Even my sister's husband, Anthony, is a nice Midwestern guy. It's like we both married men similar to what we had grown up around. Thank God. I was so proud to have him, dressed in his Air Force uniform, escort me to the altar. When I walked into the church and saw Eric waiting for me at the altar, I really knew how much he loved me, because he was crying and so emotional. I knew I was walking down the aisle to someone who would love me for the rest of our lives. That moment is clear as crystal in a day that otherwise went by so fast. Groom's gift. A really nice watch, engraved with the wedding date or something meaningful, is a traditional groom's gift, which is great if you can afford it, and your groom wears a watch. For Eric, I did a boudoir shoot and had a book made from the sexy photos that he could keep in his closet to look at when I'm out of town. If you've broken the bank on your wedding, who hasn't, and are looking for an affordable option, get 2 gorgeous cozy robes embroidered with your new last name.